And without further ado, I bring to you one of the founding fathers of epigenetics, which is the science of saying there are no genetic diseases, Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome and welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your week every week to be here with us.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca and John T. and Ruth Ellen and Nassim and the whole team. Thank you guys. Very, very kind words. And, we have to talk a little bit about this coronavirus thing because it's marching around the world again. It's in the fourth wave and Europe is shut down big time. We've in 24 hours, or the last 24 hours, we had 120,000 new cases in the United States alone. Okay, we have 8 states that are, what should I say? They're in the top numbers when it comes to bad results. Okay, let's just say it that way. And these states, we were talking about them, they are in bad shape from the standpoint of how many cases they have. And of course, California, Texas, Florida, New York, Illinois, Georgia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina is coming up fast right behind them. They all have over 1 million infections. Okay, so you're talking about 8 million infections. The United States, as of this morning, our figures were 30,780,931 infections and 559,894 dead. So before this afternoon, it'll be 560,000 dead. Okay. And so that's more than what's in the Arlington Cemetery for a military dead from all the wars from the Civil War through now, which only has 400,000 graves in it. 400,000 graves versus 500,000 and pushing 560,000 dead. So what's going on? Well, we have 2 things going on. Number one, doctors always respond when a patient says, hey, shouldn't I be taking some vitamins, minerals? I heard that this vitamin or this thing, this mineral does this. Oh, don't waste your money on that. You're just wasting your money because you get everything you need just by eating well. Well, that's like saying, don't put oil in your car. It's too expensive now, $3 a quart. Just put dirt from Texas or Oklahoma in there. It's only 10 cents a quart and you're bound to be some oil in there. Well, a crazy person would run away screaming, wouldn't do that to their car. But when a doctor says, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need, don't waste your money on vitamins, minerals, people beat their chest like Tarzan and say, hey, my doctor says I can get everything I need just by eating well. Well, these are the people that usually have the 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 pre-existing conditions, which set them up for having a bad time when they have the coronavirus. Now, these are all nutritional deficiency diseases. The doctors have said they're autoimmune, they're genetic. None of that's true. And so that's why I'm considered one of the 2 fathers, along with Bruce Lipton, of the science of epigenetics. Very proud of that. Now, we have also eliminated the 3 diseases in kids, 2 of which are thought to be genetic. Cystic fibrosis. I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in 1978 in a monkey at the primate center, or Yerkes Primate Center with NASA. I was working for NASA as a pathologist back then, and they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic. And so that's when I went back to school and became a naturopathic physician, because I knew they were way off the base. And so I was teaching nutrition and biochemistry. Thought, well, I might as well take the courses and get the degree. So I did. And since 1982, I've been a licensed physician treating people. Now, my first statements were, I'm going to treat you like a dog, but you're going to get better, because I was a veterinarian for 40 years. So, I had all this stuff in my head about nutrition and animals. So at any rate, where we're getting at today is, again, we've had over 120,000 new cases in the last 24 hours in America alone. Now, India is spiking like big time. Now, during the Spanish flu in 1918, they had 20 million people die in 6 months. They had 110 million people get infected in 6 months from the Spanish flu. Okay, that was 1918. we had 654,000 people die in 2 years. Our worst month was October of 1918, where we had 195,000 die in that 1 month from the Spanish flu. And since then, we've had the Asian flu, we've had HIV, we've had polio, we've had H1N1, we've had SARS and MERS and COVID-2 and COVID-19. And all of these are due to a major change in the entire world's lifestyle. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison and Jonathan Leaves pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. Within 10 years, everybody in the industrialized world had switched from wood stoves and fireplaces and fire pits to electricity. Well, the byproduct of wood stoves, fireplaces, and fire pits was wood ashes and coal ashes, which we put into the gardens as fertilizer. That was one of my first jobs as a 3-year-old kid on the farm, was putting the ashes into the gardens. But then we also would put them into our food and use them as a supplement. Okay, grandma would put them in her soup and in her broth and her breakfast and all that kind of stuff. Every time she had a craving or felt bad, she'd put the wood ashes in her food. Okay, well, come electricity, in 10 years' time, that all disappeared. It all disappeared. We got all these diseases, and that was the darling of genetics. Back, 1900, that's when genetics was really being pushed. And when a doctor didn't know something, he said, well, it's a genetic disease. That way he didn't have to be responsible for not knowing, right? It's your fault, your body's fault. Well, so they blamed all these new diseases, which were nutritional deficiency diseases, because we weren't getting wood ashes anymore, as the world. I mean, it didn't matter if you were a king or an emperor or a business owner or a boat captain or a farmer or a fisherman, everybody was getting their minerals from wood ashes. Well, when we went to electricity, that all disappeared. I mean, like almost overnight. And so the entire world was suffering, and they said, oh, it's a genetic thing. They came up with this genetic thing. Now, genetics will determine the color of your eyes, determine if you're a boy or a girl, that kind of stuff. But there are no diseases that are caused by bad genes. There are no diseases that are caused by autoimmune situations where your body's attacking itself. One of my favorites, of course, is rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. Well, I guess that's two. And they're both due to eating gluten. So your villi and your intestines are dead, so you can't absorb nutrition, even if you're supplementing. And then lupus, you get weird things like skin problems, psoriatic arthritis, you get rosacea on your face, and you have all kinds of like asthma stuff, and you're just sick all the time. Well, that's just, you have a gluten problem, and you're getting multiple nutritional deficiencies. Now, rheumatoid arthritis is two things. It's a nutritional deficiency arthritis with a secondary infection with a bug called mycoplasma, which gives off an RA factor, okay, which they can detect. And they say it's a autoimmune disease that can give you cortisone and prednisone, make you feel better, which it does, but the disease will go on for years and years and years, and they will milk you like the dairy cow, okay? And so that's how that works. Or if you take your minocycline for 6 to 8 weeks, which will kill that mycoplasma bug, and you take your healthy bone and joint pack, give your body what it needs, your body will repair itself. And rheumatoid arthritis, I don't care if you've had it for 40 years, in 40 days, it'll go away, okay? And so these things are all available to you. And so I can't thank Rebecca and John T. and the team for making this available to you. Now, here it comes. All of that is sort of the preamble to what's going on now. Your immune system requires these same nutrients, 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids for your bone marrow to make white blood cells, especially the T lymphocytes, which are kind of like the Marines of the white blood cells, go and kill and eat the viruses, and your stem cells that make antibodies to go and kill and eat the viruses. And then you have red blood cells and platelets, which are made in the bone marrow. And you know of people, Rebecca, in your family, your workplace, your neighbors, your church, you know of people who have to go to the doctor once a month to get an iron shot and a B12 shot because they're chronically anemic and have low platelets and so forth. And they tried for a year to take iron and B12 supplements because the doctor actually wrote a prescription for it and insurance paid for it, but it didn't work. That's because their intestines were dead because they've been eating gluten for 30 years, okay? And then, of course, then they have to start having transfusions and first get somebody else's red blood cells. So otherwise, they're going to, don't know what to do. And then they're going to do a bone marrow transplant for $100,000. Don't worry about that. Insurance will pay for it. So insurance has been one of the worst things for human health because it gave doctors an out They say, I don't feel bad about taking $100,000 from Francine because insurance pays for it. So I'm not hitting her hard. Insurance pays for it. So it's okay for me to milk her like a cow. Okay, so that's why this is going on and on and on and on, because nobody is complaining about paying $100,000 for something you can get rid of for 40 bucks. Okay, because insurance pays. So with all that said, here comes now the coronavirus. We've been out without nutrition since 1882. Our bone marrows are dead universally all over the world because the entire world went to electricity. Now here is the crazy thing. This is the most ironic part. All of this is happening, including the global warming and the carbon dioxide going up, because we have 1 million hydroelectric dams on the big rivers, okay, to make electricity. And guess what? The reefs are dying, the ocean is dying, the carbon dioxide is going up because the algae in the oceans, which is the biggest plant mass on Earth, doesn't have all the nutrition it needs to break down carbon dioxide. And so the carbon dioxide keeps going up. Elevated carbon dioxide, okay, and global warming has nothing to do with fossil fuels, nothing. I was one of the featured speakers at Tesla in 2019. My presentation was called Prescriptions for Mother Earth. Okay, it's in their magazine, okay, 2019. And yeah, 2019. And it's one of those things where they actually have a DVD in my presentation where I have all the slides and everything. And it shows very clearly. Now, we have 1 million hydroelectric dams in the world blocking up all the rivers. So all of the volcanic ash and all the erosion, minerals and everything have been blocked from going to the ocean. So all the reefs are dying because they eat the algae. And if the algae doesn't have the nutrition in it, the reefs are dying, not because of fossil fuels and global warming, but because we blocked up their food supply. Now, I'm just a dumb farm boy from Missouri, but I know if you cut off your food supply, you're going to be in bad shape. Well, that's what's happened to the reefs here. And that's the advantage of being a pathologist, where I've done autopsies in over 454 species of animals. I've gotten rid of, I started to tell you the story, I got rid of cystic fibrosis. I got rid of, along with a Navy SEAL by the name of Marvin Ropp. He was working with the Amish communities in Utah and Idaho, and they had a very high rate of muscular dystrophy. So I went there and we were curing, I'll use that word, because the doctors signed off on their charts that we had gotten rid of their muscular dystrophy after some of them are 31 years old, some are 20 years old, 18 years old, 14 years old, 6 years old, gone, okay, just in months. We were able to reverse their muscular dystrophy because it's not a genetic disease, it's just simple nutritional deficiency. In animals, it's called white muscle disease, okay, and farmers know it's nutritional deficiency disease, but doctors don't know that. They call it muscular dystrophy. So at any rate, we gave all this to Jerry Lewis. Remember the telethon? Are you old enough to remember the telethon?
I do. Dr. Wallach, I'm 50 years old. I'm old enough to remember that.
Well, you look like you're 30, dear. Okay.
I love you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. So anyway, we gave all this to Jerry Lewis. We gave him about, I don't know, 12, 15 charts where the doctors had signed off and said, hey, this kid doesn't, or this person doesn't have muscular dystrophy anymore. He took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired him before he turned around and walked out of the door. They fired him, made him sign one of these things where he can't tell why they fired him, and they can't tell why they fired him. And that's why you never heard anything after 2011 about the telethon and Jerry Lewis, because it just poof, went away, because I gave them the cure for muscular dystrophy in 2011. Okay, now here it comes. April 16th, 2013, we won my 12th federal court case, okay, and forced all the baby food manufacturers, Enfamil, Similac, stuff like that, to put these nutrients in the baby formulas. And a year and a half later, September 13th, 2014, big headlines on the front page of the Charlotte Observer in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, we're talking like Third World War, bold, big headlines. We don't know why, but sudden death syndrome has disappeared, has vanished, is the word they use, has vanished in North Carolina. 3 months later, in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and all the newspapers in Missouri, we don't know why, but sudden death syndrome has vanished in the state of Missouri. And 3 months later, every newspaper in the world has come out and said, we don't know why, but the diagnoses of sudden death syndrome has dropped by 85 to 95% all over the world. Now, 12, 15 years ago, the rate of sudden death syndrome per normal births was 1 per 300. Today is 1 per 3,000. Okay, now that's because people are still giving them goat's milk and to their babies, and they're giving them canned milk and stuff like that instead of formulas and breastfeeding. But if everybody would get those nutrients into their babies, it would go to 0. But 1 in 3,000 is a lot better than 1 in 300. Okay, so we're very, very proud of that. So that's kind of where we come from. And the same thing here is true for this coronavirus. If we give our bone marrows what they need, a 75-year-old, a 95-year-old, a 105-year-old will act like a 3-year-old when they get the coronavirus. It'll be just common cold-like symptoms for 3 or 5 days and it's all over. But the reason why we're having all these fatalities and terrible damage, that people have permanent damage if they survive, is because the bone marrow is dead and they cannot make the white blood cells to go kill and eat the viruses, and they cannot respond to the vaccines. That's what they're calling variants. Well, we gave them the vaccine and they died. Oh, it must be a variant. It's not responding to the vaccine. No, they died because their bone marrow was dead, because their intestines are dead, because they've been eating gluten for all those years, not supplementing, because we didn't have wood ashes to put in our food anymore, right? And so once your bone marrow is dead, your immune system is dead. And so that's why we have such a hard time with the coronavirus. And of course, India now is starting to complain. They have identified, quote, 4 variants in India. Remember, they're the ones in 1918 that had 20 million dead in 6 months, and 110 million infections. So watch it. India is going to have a bad time here, really, really bad time. Right now, India is at, this was as of yesterday, 11,787,000 infections and 160,000 dead. Now they have less dead than we do, but they have an enormous number of infections. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you're going to see some really catastrophic things going on in India. They'll be reporting that because the northern 9 states live on wheat. 95% of the deaths from the coronavirus in India occur in the northern 9 states where they eat nothing but wheat. Only 5% occur in the southern 20 states and the 7 territories where they eat rice and sweet potatoes and corn and seaweed. Okay, so even the same homogeneous people, depending on their diet. Do we have time? 2 minutes? I can give you one more comparison.
Yeah, let's do one more. But there's something that has been just kind of baffling me, Dr. Wallach. Ever since COVID came out, you no longer hear about people dying of pneumonia. You no longer hear, the high cases of cancer and heart disease. It's all focused on COVID-19. Did the others just go away? Or this is just what we're hearing on the media?
Okay, the others didn't go away. In fact, they're getting worse, okay, in numbers and severity and variety. But we have antibiotics and we can kill the bacteria with antibiotics. That's the only pharmaceutical that really does a job, is antibiotics. All other pharmaceuticals just treat symptoms. So when you get a bacterial pneumonia, staphylococcus, that kind of stuff, I can treat you, with penicillin, it goes away, no problem. But when you're talking about other stuff, heart attacks, they got surgeries now that insurance pays for. So it's no big deal because insurance pays for the surgery. Just like Andy Young from the Civil Rights Movement, he was scheduled to have a double knee replacement. And I gave him, our healthy bone and joint pack, and in 30 days rebuilt his knees. And he started introducing me to the Black community as a result. And that's where the book Black Gene Lies and the CD Black Gene Lies came from. Pastor Creflo Dollar and Andy Young from the Civil Rights Movement, and got me involved there. And then, of course, Evander Holyfield, he lost his heavyweight championship to Michael Moore because he had a heart attack in the last round of his championship defense. And that's when I came up with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and gave it to Evander Holyfield like 3 times a day for a year and a half. And he came back and he beat Iron Mike Tyson to get his championship back. Now, who comes away from a near fatal heart attack and a year and a half later comes back and wins a heavyweight championship against Iron Mike Tyson? Oh my gosh. Well, this is how good these products are, because they give the body what it needs to repair itself. Even if you've had a heart attack, if you've survived it and I can get to you, I can help you. Okay. And so this is why we built this army, because I can't be everywhere. And so that's why I love you and and John T. and Ruth Ellen and Nasima and your whole team, because you guys are out there helping people and teaching them how to protect themselves and how to heal themselves. And so I so appreciate you guys for that. Now, the last comparison I quickly want to give you, and I can give you 50 of them, but I'm just give you this one because it shows you that this is not a racial thing. Okay, this is a dietary thing. I'm going to compare Nigeria and Brazil. Brazil is the largest landmass country in South America. Nigeria is one of the larger, not the largest, but one of the larger landmass countries on the west coast of Africa. They both have about 208 million people. Nigeria has 2,000 dead. Brazil has 300,000 dead. Nigeria has 162,000 infections. Brazil has 12 million infections. Okay, now.
What was their population? What was their population?
208 million each. Okay, now Nigeria is not.
Population.
Huh?
I just
Same population.
Yeah, I just want everybody to understand this, that, you know, we're looking at similar populations as far as size.
But 12 million infections in Brazil is a lot bigger than 162,000 in Nigeria.
It's huge.
Yeah, same way with the number of dead. It's 300,000 dead in Brazil versus 2,000 dead in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is 98% Black African tribal people.
And
okay.
I know a lot of them, and I love them.
Yeah,
have heart.
and so you have to appreciate that Black people in America have the highest rate in percentages of deaths per 100,000 infections in their race, in their group. Number one is the indigenous peoples, Native Americans, okay? Then come the Blacks, okay? And then come the Latinos and so on. So anyway, and so then Brazil is 47% white. The Europeans came in from Europe to Brazil. 47% are mulattoes, or half white, half black hybrids, okay, biracial, okay, and then 6% Black and the rest are Asians. Well, that's why we have the difference between them, because Brazil brought in all the gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and Nigeria lives on nothing but corn, maize, rice, beans, squash, and seaweed, because they live on the west coast, so they're getting that minerals from the seaweed to give to their bone marrow to make antibodies to kill the virus. Okay, whereas in Brazil, they're living on wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and they have the same high rate of infections and deaths as England and Italy and France and Germany, all of whom are spiking like crazy now because they haven't given up their wheat, barley, rye, and oats. They continue to eat that way, and they keep getting, quote, these variants, unquote, which are really a failure of their bone marrow, because their intestines are dead. And even if they were supplementing, which they're not, these countries are not known for supplementing, they don't have wood ashes anymore. Oh, you got it? Yep. So you see why we got what we got.
I do. And I hope everybody else sees this as well, because it really does make a difference. We can't just put junk in our body and expect our body to be able to function the way it was designed to do. And that's one thing that I didn't think I was putting junk in my body, because, you know, the USDA said we were supposed to have all these whole grains. So I was grinding my own wheat, and I was getting sicker and sicker until I found Dr. Wallach, and I'm glad he got a hold of me, because it totally changed my life. It's changed the life of my family. My mom was one of those who was getting blood transfusions and getting shots because her iron was so low. And now she's off a dozen pharmaceuticals with Dr. Wallach, all because we have gotten her on the 90 essential nutrients.
And how old is your mama?
She is 83 years old.
Okay, she and I are about the same age, okay?
Yep.
And so, and she's giving up gluten, right? Not always.
As much as my father will let her. I keep beating him. I keep telling him. I keep threatening him. But no, they've greatly reduced the gluten. But I know that gluten is gluten. If you have it, you're not gluten-free.
That's correct.
But that's something I'm still working on, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, if you see it, have it in your cupboard, even if you're not eating it, it's killing you.
Yep. Yep.
Just the dust from going in and out of there, it's gonna get you.
That is for sure. And you've already told me I have to move because of where I live. But I love our farm in the middle of this beautiful farm country, and it is pretty to look at. But yes, Dr. Wallach, I am looking.
Okay, this is also
Oh.
valuable. The face masks are also valuable, not only for repelling the viruses, but also for keeping the gluten dust out of your face.
Keeps the gluten dust out, and when temperatures are freezing, it helps keep your face warm.
There you
There's
go.
positives to everything. Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining us here with Ask Doc Live. Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for bringing that information. We want to be up to date on what's really going on and what we can do in our own backyard to be able to keep us from becoming part of those statistics. So I want to remind everybody, if you have any questions about anything that you hear about on this program, get with the person that shared this program with you, okay? Because they will have a lot of answers for you. If you were not invited to this program by somebody specific, we do have a contact us on our website of askdoclive.com. You'll see the contact us there on the website. And we do have a call team. If you have never spoken to anybody about any of the longevity products, we have a call team that is there at 855-949-7234. Okay, let's go to our first hands. And Dr. Wallach, this young man has been so gracious in helping his grandma Judy and getting on and just being a little light in the comments. So first, John, thank you for your nice, sweet comments. Let's see what Grandma Judy has to ask Dr. Wallach today. Go ahead, Judy.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Hey.
doctor,
Okay,
I
John,
would like to
I
ask
knew that was
you,
going to happen. John,
Is-
you need to mute yourself.
is there
please.
something that I could take to stop cataracts?
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute yourself because there's a dog barking in the background. There's echoes and all kinds of stuff. That's got to stop. Okay. Well, cataracts are caused by inflammation to the lens of the eye. And if it's really cataracts, you can actually see them. Sometimes you can see them yourself. You just look in the mirror and you can see like a white spot, looks like a mothball inside your eyes. A doctor can see them when he looks in your eyes. But a lot of times doctors, if you have a slow loss of vision, they're going to blame cataracts. You really don't have cataracts. So let me ask you a couple of questions. How old are you, Judy?
I got to unmute her again.
Okay.
Go ahead, Judy.
How old are you, Judy?
76.
Okay, 76. Now, are you coloring your hair? Is that your normal hair color?
No, I color it.
Okay. Now, do you have varicose veins or spider veins in your legs?
Some spider veins.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you have any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
No, I don't.
Do you have any balance or dizziness problems?
No, sometimes a little balance.
Okay.
But I'm currently on a lot of your vitamins already.
I understand, but I'm asking for this for the rest of our listeners here too.
Okay.
So they have to learn how to understand this. And do you have anything going on in your hands or wrists or arms? Any tingling or numbness or pain?
No,
Okay. Do you have dentures or implants? Or do you
no,
have all your natural teeth?
yes.
Oh, that's good. All right. Let's see here. Do you have anything going on in your neck or your back?
Lower back issues and sciatica.
Okay. Sciatica. Okay. Now, sciatica, of course, have you shrunk any in height since you were 20 years old?
No.
Okay. So you're exactly the same height as when you were 20. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I am still 5'3".
Okay. And how much do you weigh?
About 135.
Okay. So you have osteoporosis. You have osteoporosis of your skull, and it could be squeezing your optic nerve. Okay. It's called ONA, optic nerve atrophy. And you get a gradual vision loss. And doctors can't figure out because you don't have pressure in your eye, you don't have glaucoma, you don't have cataracts, you don't have macular degeneration. So they say you have cataracts so they can explain why you're slowly losing your vision, okay? Because they can't see what normally they would see. And so when your skull has osteoporosis, it goes from being a quarter of an inch thick to an inch thick. And it used to be called Paget's disease. Now it's called Wallach's disease because Paget thought it was a genetic thing, but it's actually just nutritional osteoporosis of the skull. Doctors never talk about osteoporosis of the skull. So I came up with a book called It's All in Your Head. It's All in Your Head. I'm going to get a hold of that book. You can get a hold of, through Rebecca's team, get a hold of the book. It's All in Your Head. And it goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull, including blindness because of ONA, optic nerve atrophy. But doctors will call it everything from macular degeneration to cataracts and glaucoma. But say, well, let me see the pressure measurements. No, that's okay, kind of thing, because you really didn't have glaucoma or a very mild case of glaucoma. And so it's not going to impact your vision. So at any rate, here we go. Again, this is for our greater viewing and listening audience. You need to get rid of all the bad stuff so you can maximize absorption of the nutritions I would recommend for it. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, and oats, no sugar. And remember, the loss of hair color and spider veins and varicose veins and hemorrhoids, which are just varicose veins in a funny place, and sciatica, all those things are due to nutritional deficiencies, okay? And so people who have these problems are prone to dying of ruptured aneurysms in the brain and the aorta and so forth, because that same nutrition that's missing causes all those different problems. So get rid of all the bad stuff. And then at 135 pounds, I want you to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. Get another bottle of our selenium, not from Walgreens, but our selenium, because our selenium has 5 cofactors in there. And so you go to another bottle of selenium, so you can take 3 twice a day. That'll be with your one with your healthy brain and heart pack, another one with your by itself. And then I want you to get a bottle of MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help you rebuild your bone marrow and also rebuild your skull to take the pressure off the optic nerves, take the pressure off the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve, which causes you to have a little bit of balance problems. Sciatica, the MSM is going to help you rebuild the disc in between your vertebrae, push the vertebrae apart so that it takes the pressure off the sciatic nerves. When people have peripheral neuropathies in sciatica, which is a peripheral neuropathy from the lower back, most of their symptoms are in their legs and their feet and their toes, but it's a back problem the same way. When you have eye problems, hearing problems, balance problems, dizziness, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, you have carpal tunnel syndrome, hand problems, arm problems. It can be osteoporosis of the skull causing all that because it's squeezing the spinal cord as it comes out of the back of the skull. Most people don't realize, and doctors have forgotten, that your spinal cord is formed in the brain, has to come out of the back of the skull. And so when you have osteoporosis, that hole that the spinal cord comes through gets smaller and smaller and smaller, okay, and squeezes the spinal cord and you get all these diseases. So this is why these nutritional programs will work. They always work, but you have to get rid of the gluten so you can absorb the 90. You must get rid of the gluten, okay? And of course, when people only lived to be 35 years of age, it didn't matter if you ate wheat or barley, rye, or oats. But if you want to be a super centenarian, okay, and live to be 110 beyond, if you want to live to be 80, 90, you better be eliminating gluten out of your life and supplementing heavily. So with that, back to you, Rebecca.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. And thank you, Judy, for coming on. Thank you, John, as well. Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and go to our next hand who is up, and
okay.
Meredith. All right, just sent you a request to unmute yourself.
Hi.
Go ahead, you're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Meredith.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to speak with you today.
How can we help you?
Well, I was recently diagnosed with pancreatic insufficiency and divisium. I've been sick for a long time.
What was that second one?
Pancreas divisum. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Where it didn't fuse from birth. The duct.
Okay, now stop. When was this diagnosed?
Less than a month ago.
How old are you?
I am 54.
You're 54. And
Yeah.
so you've had this problem for 54 years and you're first diagnosing it now.
It's been terrible. I've been sick most of my adult life.
Uh-huh. But most of your adult life, but not as a baby.
Well, my
Okay.
mom said I used to throw up from dairy products and not feel good. I don't really remember all that much from when I was younger.
May I ask you a personal question? What's the color of your bowel movements?
It's
Are
it's
they
hard to
brown?
say. It's they're brown, but they're like almost like muddy or dirt, like dry dirt.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you've had a real bad pancreatic problem, your bowel movement would be white,
Mhm.
okay, or yellow. Okay, so we're not going there because if you had something like they're talking about, or you were born with it, you would have, had a big problem 54 years ago,
Mhm.
not now. Okay. So do you have any other issues? How about pressure, diabetes, arthritis,
No,
any ringing in the ears,
no,
any balance problems,
no,
any irregular heart rate,
no,
any respiratory stuff,
no,
any arthritis?
no.
Okay, good. Are you taking supplements?
They gave me Creon for the pancreas.
Yeah, that's not supplements. Okay.
Oh, well, I started taking over the years. I was taking all different type of digestive enzymes and vitamin
Okay.
D's.
Okay. I got you. All right. How much do you weigh?
144. Actually, normally I'm 118, but I get very bloated and very
Mhm.
sick. So
Okay. So what I want you to do is get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran, no sugar. I want you to eat like an Asian.
now
You
I've
can
been
have,
off of gluten since 2007 and dairy.
okay, good. But you've been on it for most of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So you still have all these intestinal injuries. So you have to, totally. You can't even say the word. Okay. Get away from gluten. No wheat,
Mhm.
bran, rye, or oats, no sugar. And then at 144 pounds, you're right at that cusp, but you're in a dangerous position here right now because of your age, these pre-existing conditions, and this coronavirus thing. So I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything at breakfast. I weigh 142, and I take a full dose of that at breakfast and dinner time myself. Okay. So I also want you to get 1 bottle of our MSM. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. It'll help rebuild your bone marrow and also the walls of the ducts in your pancreas, your liver, and so forth. It'll also rebuild the intestines, your skin, your joints, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, your bones, and so on. So 3 of those MSM tablets twice a day. There's 1 bottle a month.
I have no gallbladder either. I don't know if that helps.
Were you born without it? Or did they surgically remove
No,
it?
they took it out. I had pancreatitis and they said it wasn't working right.
Okay, well, pancreatitis has nothing to do with your gallbladder.
I was having they did all kinds of tests and they said they found that it was just having gallbladder attacks. I didn't
Okay, well,
understand.
well, here's what you need to do is ask the doctor when they come up with stuff like that. Do you have kids in college? And say, well, yeah, of course. Well, I have 3. Is tuition due now? Because he needed the money to pay the tuition, so he took your gallbladder out. But he didn't worry about it because insurance paid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's just milking you. Every time he needs money, he goes and takes something out because you have insurance. Okay, now here we go. No bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rye, no sugar. Then 2 healthy branded heart packs, full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get that 1 bottle of MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. Then I want you to take our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day. I also want you to get our glucogel. Get 2. I want you to take 2 bottles of the capsules a month, so you can take 5 twice a day. That's going to help you with your sciatica and your bone marrow and all that kind of stuff. But then for the pancreas, I want you to use our ultimate enzymes. It's very creative. And also, it's called the gallbladder in a bottle because we have ox bile in it. We take the bile from cattle. We get the gallbladders at slaughter when they go to kill them and make meat. We take all their bile from their livers and we dry it and we put it in our digestive ultimate enzymes. So I want you to take 2 or 3 of those 5 to 10 minutes before your meals and a couple ounces of water. You'll need 2 bottles a month of the ultimate enzymes. Again, we call it the gallbladder in a bottle. You're a perfect person to get this. You'll notice immediate relief, okay, and absorption. And then let's see here. I also want you to take our anti-inflammatory. It's called Fucoid Z. It's made out of, I don't know, 8 or 9 different seaweeds and things. Has all these weird trace minerals from the ocean. Your bone marrow likes it, but also your healing process likes those trace minerals from the ocean. And so I want you to take 3 of those twice. They'll be 2 bottles a month, or a Fucoid Z capsules. If you prefer liquid, we have it in the form of a liquid. It's called Z Radical. Same thing as the Fucoid Z, but the Z Radical is a liquid. You can take an ounce of that twice a day. It's 2 quarts a month. And then call us every couple of weeks. Get on this thing and give us a report where you're at. When you go to the doctor, he'll examine you. I don't know how often you go, but if you ever go again, you might not ever have to go again. Okay, but if you go again, make sure that you get on and tell us what the doctor said, because they usually freak out because they don't expect you to recover because they need you. Okay, and so give us a call. Get on us, every couple of weeks as you progress here, because you're going to notice an immense positive change. Okay.
Do I need to stop the creon?
You want to stop what?
Do I need to stop the pancreas enzymes, the creon?
No, go ahead and keep taking those for a while.
Okay.
Okay, but don't forget our ultimate enzymes. Okay, they're a totally different thing. They're the gallbladder in a bottle. Okay,
Okay.
You'll be amazed. Okay,
Thank you. Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing from you. You bet.
All right. Thank you so much, Meredith, for jumping on and asking those questions. Definitely not something that we've had before for most of it. So we appreciate that. And thank you, Dr. Wallach, for sharing wisdom in a more broader aspect when it comes to the body. So Dr. Wallach, the next question that I have is from the chat menu, and this is David. 65 years old, 215 pounds, 5'11". Pre-existing conditions are enlarged prostate, HIV positive for 10 years, currently on Pearcin and Dovaco. But his question is, what are your recommendations that he can do for his health with these conditions?
For his what?
For these conditions. So
Okay,
enlarged
well,
prostate and
and
HIV
HIV.
positive.
Okay, and he's not complaining about arthritis or high blood pressure, or diabetes, or bowel problems or anything. They
No.
always leave those things out because they say, well, yeah, I have high blood pressure, but I'm on medication for that. They always leave that part out. I find that funny. Okay, because they're told it's a genetic thing. There's nothing to do about it but take the medication. So they believe the doctors, so they don't ever bring it up. Okay, so David is 65. He's got HIV, and which we can do some great things for him there. And then he's got a prostate issue. I would imagine he's also may have some joint problems. He's got some skin problems. He's got some bowel problems, all that kind of stuff. And so he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. So no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat granules, no sugar. I want him to, I mean, he has got to be drop dead, no cheat meals per month. Okay. Then I want him to have 2 of the healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose everything twice a day, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. I want him to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so he can take 3 with each meal, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. They will support healthy maintenance repair of the bone marrow. Very important for him here because that's his immune system, because he's got HIV, and we're worried about these pre-existing conditions because of the coronavirus thing going on here, right? And so we got to deal with that. And then I also want him to take the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, so he can absorb the minerals and put them in his bones in all the proper places. He needs the glucogel, 5 capsules twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I also want him to get 1 canister of the collagen peptides, so he can take a dose of that in the middle of the day, also to help rebuild bone marrow and so forth. And then because of his prostate issues, I want him to have the ProstFX. He can go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I also want him to have our Zera test. Zera test supplies his Sertoli cells, his testicles, with whatever they need to make testosterone. So I want him to take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month. And then I want him to take our colloidal silver. I want him to take 2 droppers full under his tongue, 30 minutes for each meal. So it'll be 3 times a day there and 30 minutes before bed. So it's 4 times, 2 droppers full under his tongue. And colloidal silver doesn't have any alcohol in it, so it won't sting or burn or anything like that. But if you look it up, go to Siri and Amazon and ask, what bugs does colloidal silver kill? And one of the top ones is HIV virus. Okay. And so, he needs to be taking that every day. And of course, they say with these drugs he's taken that they can get him where he's non-infective, but they can't actually kill out the virus. But according to all the research posted on Siri and Amazon, colloidal silver can kill the HIV virus. Okay, so you want to hit that hard. And then I would also throw in to support the immune system and anti-inflammatory, which will also help the prostate, is the fucoid Z. You can go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. That's all that algae, 8 or 9 different algae and seaweeds and stuff from the ocean. Okay. And then contact us every, couple of weeks. Let us know how he's doing. And of course, when he goes to a doctor and gets checked out and everything, let us know what the doctor's response is.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. Okay, next, I know Susan has her hand up, but I think she has her hand up for Ken. So let's go ahead and get Ken on with you. Ken, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I hope I got the right Ken.
Am I there? Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Ken.
Yes, hi,
Ken.
doctor.
How can we help you?
Yes, I've been on, first, thank you for seeing me. I've been gluten-free and on the program for just a short time. And I'm not receiving all my medicines right now.
No, by medicines, are you talking about your supplements?
My supplements, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm a little nervous,
okay.
doctor. Okay. But the problem I'm having right now is with pooping. It started off with quite soft, and now it's quite hard to the point that I acquired hemorrhoids and so forth, and I just don't know what to do. I'm
Okay. So you have some hemorrhoids. Do you have any varicose veins in your legs?
I do.
Okay. And let's see here. Do you color your hair? Do you have some gray
No.
in there in your beard?
No.
Do you have any gray in your beard?
Very little, but a little bit.
Okay. It's kind of like being pregnant. Either you is or you ain't. I'm a little bit pregnant. Okay.
No, I have gray. And
Okay.
but I'm 72, so.
Well, no, see, it's not an age thing. It's a deficiency. That's why I'm asking if you have gray hair, because they're the same thing that causes hemorrhoids. Same deficiency causes hemorrhoids. Same
Okay.
deficiency causes ruptured aneurysms in the brain and the aorta, which can kill you. So you're getting an early warning here. You're headed down a very deadly path here if you don't do something. Okay. So how much do you weigh?
300 pounds, but over the last 2 weeks, I lost 10.
Okay, good.
I had gastric bypass surgery about 5 years ago. I was up to 400.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay, yeah, 6'3". I'd like to see you, be maybe 220, something like that. And so for 400, you're a big boy. Okay.
I am.
And yeah. And so, when you're that big, other than being a defensive tackle on a football team, there's not much you can do, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
I do not, but I do. I've had emphysema. I'm sorry, let me start back a little bit. I was in the hospital 4 times for pneumonia and diagnosed with emphysema. I've gone to a specialist. The specialist said that we have to get to the bottom of it. It might not be emphysema. We just don't know.
Okay. Did he say there's a possibility that it's COPD?
He did.
Okay. Do you ever have any hiccups?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm kind of hitting bullseyes, aren't I?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And you had a stomach bypass.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. And then did you ever have an irregular heartbeat or AFib or fast heart rate?
I do.
Boy, that's a bingo. Now, you have osteoporosis of the skull is what's going on here. It's squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, okay, which is causing the AFib. The 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, controls the rate and rhythm of the heart. Doctors want you to think it's a heart problem. Did you have ablation? Did you have that surgery?
No.
Okay, good. You're way, way too overweight to go through that surgery. That will kill you. Don't do it. Okay. But AFib is caused by osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. Do you have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
I do, yes, geez.
Bingo. Okay. And I'm not going to charge you anything for this examination.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any balance problems, any dizziness or balance problems?
I do have a balance problem, yes.
Okay. Did they send you to a balance clinic?
No, they did not.
Okay. Usually they do because you have insurance and they got kids in college and tuition is due, so they'll send you to the balance clinic. Now, did they ask you, about any tingling or numbness in your hands or wrists or arms?
No, but I do. I have like a trigger finger problem.
I was going to ask you if you had trigger fingers. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever heard of sciatica?
No, doctor.
Okay. Sciatica is where you have low back issues causing numbness and tingling in your toes and feet and legs and burning and pain in your legs. But it's a back problem. It's called a peripheral neuropathy, because it's called sciatica because the sciatic nerve is being squeezed. Well, in your case here, your spinal cord is being squeezed as it comes out of the skull. And that's why you have trigger fingers and things going on in your hands and arms. Okay. Because you got sciatica of the arms because your skull is squeezing the spinal cord up here. And I wouldn't be surprised if your lower back was squeezing, your sciatic nerves and have sciatica in your legs and feet, right?
Correct, I do.
Okay. So are you ready? Here we go.
I'm
I want
ready.
you to, okay. You need 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay. You need to take a full dose of everything at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. A full dose of everything at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't forget all the bad foods got to go. No fried food, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown rice, no sugar. And then I also want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 with each meal. 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. I weigh 142 and I take 3 twice a day. Then I want you to take 3 of our vitamin D3 capsules, 3 with each meal. That's 3 bottles a month. So you can absorb the minerals and put them in all the right places in your skull and vertebrae and pelvis and leg bones and arm bones and so forth, and tendons and ligaments. The emphysema will go away. It's usually called COPD because it's the same nerve being squeezed that causes AFib, atrial fibrillation, the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. But the COPD is caused by a recurrent branch of that nerve. It's called the recurrent branch, and it also causes the hiccups when it gets squeezed. That's why you have all those problems. And so then I also want you to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I want you to take 3 with each meal. That'd be 3 bottles a month. And they will support healthy blood pressure, healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And then I want you to have 1 meal a day, our keto caramel meals. I want you to have 1 meal a day or keto caramel meals. It could be a shake or a bar. It doesn't matter. It could be a different meal every day. It doesn't have to be the same meal. And then the other 2 meals, I want you to eat like a Asian, okay? Maize, corn, rice, sweet potatoes, beans, squash, and our seaweed, like the Asians eat. I want you to get our Fucoid Z. You can get 3 bottles a month of the Fucoid Z. Take 3 with each meal. That's 9 a day. I take 3 twice a day. I only weigh 142 because I want that seaweed with those weird trace minerals. And then let's see here. I'm looking at all your other stuff here. I want you also to take our killerbiotics because obesity is one of the biggest risk factors of having a bad outcome if you get the COVID. Okay. And so I want you to take our killerbiotic, take 3 of those with each meal. That's 3 bottles a month. And then don't forget the colloidal silver. Put 2 droppers full on your tongue, 30 minutes for each meal, 2 droppers full on your tongue, 30 minutes before bedtime. And it will help reduce your risk of damage from viruses, including the coronavirus, because it kills viruses. That's what it does. It'll dampen down the numbers of viruses. Okay. So give us a call every couple of weeks. We want to know how much you weigh, how many of your symptoms are going away, and how quickly they're going away. Because some of this stuff is going to go away in weeks. Some of it might take a month or 2. Okay. But you'd be amazed. I have people, they were legally blind. I had a wager with a eye doctor who called me a liar because I said I could reverse blindness when he, because he had misdiagnosed him as the cause. And they had osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerve, causing ONA, optic nerve atrophy. And they were getting loss of vision. And he diagnosed them as legally blind, all of them, 27 of them, for 6, 8, 10, 12 years. To make a long story short, in 90 days on my program, they all could read 20/20 without glasses. And he had to pay off the wager, the bet, It's a very famous story. And it's, you know, one of those miracles that would be in the Bible if they're writing Bible chapters today, okay? Because you take 27 people who are legally blind 6, 8, 10, 12 years, and in 90 days, they all can read 20/20 without glasses. That's a miracle. No, it's just nutrition. Got them off of gluten, got them on the 90 and the various things they needed to fix everything. And so you're going to be in the same position here. You are going to be a phenomenal example. So please do call us every couple of weeks. Get on this Zoom every couple of weeks, and let us know.
Little
Go ahead.
about my constipation.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got one more thing for if you have constipation.
Yeah,
But getting off of gluten is going to help you. Gluten's
okay.
going to help you.
I'm gonna do it.
Get off the gluten now. But here's what I want you to take in the meantime. Get 2 bottles a month of our herbal rainforest. It has 13, herbal rainforest. Okay, it comes in a quart bottle, and get 2 quarts a month. I want you to take an ounce. I take an ounce in the morning. I only weigh 142. I take an ounce in the morning with my liquids and all that kind of stuff. And I take an ounce in the evening. It has 13 cleansing herbs and 75 minerals in it. You will love it. It tastes good. Little kids like it. And if you get diarrhea, I mean, you'll go from constipation to diarrhea. If you get diarrhea, cut it in half. Take a half a ounce at breakfast and dinner, but start out with an ounce at each, meal. And you'll notice a very quick, within 24 to 72 hours, you'll notice a big difference in your bowel movement.
Thank you so much, doctor. I really appreciate your help.
Okay, God bless you, sir. We look forward to hearing from you because, Ken, you are going to help thousands of people. And so we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, sir.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. And thank you for Susan for inviting Ken to this program. And this is what this program is all about. We want to make a place where you can come and ask questions of Dr. Wallach. You're not getting charged, but I want you to make sure that you are getting back with the person that invited you to this program. That's going to be very, very important.
How's that?
That sounds perfect.
Now, since we had that wonderful call with our buddy here, here's my pen. Okay. The last guy, Ken.
Yes.
Tell everybody quickly about your experience. How much weight did you lose on our program?
So far I've lost 95 pounds. So irritable bowel syndrome, I just figured everybody had problems. They either constipated or diarrhea, and you always had to know where the bathroom was. But I know that it's not the way it's supposed to be now. So yeah, it's amazing what the body can do when given the right stuff.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of you. You're an angel of God because you're sharing your experience with everybody, and it worked out very beautifully because you put out the effort. So I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And so since we're on that subject, Dr. Wallach, let's talk a little bit about the business opportunity, because there is an opportunity here that whether you are somebody that is, business minded, great into digital marketing and want to have an extra stream of income, that is available. If you are truly interested in health and wellness, we have a great certified holistic health coach program that helps you know from the ground running what the company's all about, what the research is behind and into the products, and Dr. Wallach, his credibility, and how we are able to offer natural alternatives to health and giving the body what it needs so that the body can do what it's designed to do. That is part of our program and our opportunity that I want to make sure everybody knows about, because just a handful of us telling people, we're not going to heal our world like it needs to be healed. And
let me throw
Wallach,
something in here. Let me throw something in here if I may. And you did a great job. I remind everybody that when you become either a preferred customer or an associate, which is our business builders, you get the wholesale prices for the products. If you get on auto ship, I pay the shipping, so you save a lot of money because the liquids are heavy, kind of thing. And then also, when you sign up as an associate, it's $50. Okay, now you get a franchise for $50 as opposed to $10,000 or more, or $50,000 or whatever it is for a McDonald's franchise. And it's tax deductible. $50 is tax deductible, and I will give you for free each year you have to renew your franchise. And so I will give you, each year you renew. And originally I will also give you $500 free worth of business building information and materials and a free website. And so it's free. Okay. So really you're only paying 450. No, you're only paying $50 instead of 500 or whatever it is. Okay. It's an amazing thing. You're going to save a lot of money. And even if you've been kicked out of your apartment, you're living in your car, you can still get the orders from your friends and family and so forth, and your church and so on. You can still get your orders. And by the way, I work with more churches because they really appreciate that their members and their churches can get a hold of these products and do the God's thing instead of going to do the surgeon thing. I always, kind of like the waitresses, when they were putting in an order to the cook in the back, they say, hold the mayo.
That's
In our
right.
case, it's hold the Mayo Clinic, right?
There you go. There you go.
Okay. And
Well,
so,
then, go ahead, Dr. Wallach.
okay. And then you just take the order on your cell phone or your computer, send the order to the company. We do the shipping for you. You don't even have to have an inventory. You don't need a store. You don't need paid employees, all that kind of stuff. And this is why I built this practice this way. I'm licensed in Oregon since 1982. I'm licensed in California since they started. I think it was like 15 years ago. They started with licensing in California. My license number in California is 61. So, it was in the beginning. Okay. And the important thing here is that I could only see, like all doctors, you can see maybe 20, 30 patients a day. And then you're busy. Well, right now I see 2 million a day. Now, every, I say 4 or 5 weeks, I do a 2-hour radio interview with George Norrie, the most listened to nighttime talk show host. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. We have 11 to 12 million people on for 2 hours. Okay, now I could never see that in my lifetime as a practitioner in Portland, Oregon. Okay, and so I set this practice up so that I would teach you to be my nurse practitioners, to be my partners, to be God's angels, and get that message out there. And I pay you very well. I personally do not make any money from the sale of the products. I'll repeat that. I personally do not make any money. I do not take a paycheck from the company. I started the whole thing. I don't take a paycheck from the company. I make my money by selling books and CDs and DVDs. Okay. And so I figure that's fair game.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Wallach. For those of you who are in business and have a brick and mortar business, you know how much goes into that scoreboard matrix where you have to monitor your inventory. You have to make sure that the product is there. You have to do all the logistics. You have to do the accounting. Longevity does that for us. All we have to do is work with the customers. And I absolutely love that because I'm a people person. I don't know about you, but I love people. And I want to make sure that people are getting and have the opportunity to have the best health possible, because pain and discomfort and disease are not the way we were designed to be as we age. So I look forward to getting older, Dr. Wallach. It doesn't bother me one bit. But
No, I
let's
tell you, we want to shoot for being super centenarians, which are over 110 years of age. And I bet you there's a lot of longevity people going to make it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be one of them unless God calls me home for some other reason. It's not
I
gonna
will
be
see you there,
because of
dear.
poor health. All right. Well, let's go to Tammy, who has her hand out. Tammy, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach, and if you could turn your camera on, that is so helpful for him in helping in getting the right questions asked and product recommendations for you. Great. Well, Tammy is not unmuting right away, so let's go ahead and go to John. Oh, wait, Tammy's camera came on, but it's still black screen. Let's go to John. So John R., go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr.
Hello,
Wallach.
John. Yes, sir. How can we help you? Looks like Rebecca. Must be twins.
I've
Hey,
got,
John.
Hey, there we go.
can you hear me?
I can hear, I can see you now. You're wearing
Okay, good.
glasses.
Okay, so based on all of the symptoms that you talk with other people, I've got osteoporosis of the skull also.
Okay.
So I've got AFib. I also have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. I've got erectile dysfunction happening. I'm getting tingling in my legs now and then, which I also have sleep apnea. So
Okay. Now, how old are you, John?
I'm 63.
Okay. How tall are you? What do you weigh?
5'5", 215.
Okay. 5'5" for a guy. I'd like to see maybe weigh 160, 170. So 215. Need to lose about 45, 50 pounds. Okay. Do you have any diabetes?
No,
Any high blood pressure?
no.
Any arthritis in your, knees or hips or arms or shoulders?
Some days I get a little bit, but I mean,
Yeah,
nothing,
comes and goes. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
nothing debilitating. I think it's if I end up with something too salty, I end up with some stiffness, but that's the extent of it.
Okay. Now, let's see here. You say you have AFib. All right. Do you
Yeah.
have any tinnitus, any ringing in the ears?
No,
Okay. Any hiccups or COPD?
no.
Okay, good. All right. Well, cardiomyopathy is very simple nutritional deficiency disease. AFib is very simple nutritional deficiencies. Actually, as you point out, osteoporosis of the skull, you're a good student, osteoporosis of the skull. And the doctors, once you think it's a heart problem, they'll want to cut you open and do a ablation where they put a hot iron on your heart, trying to kill a part of your heart that's running
Yeah,
amok.
I declined ablation.
Okay, good.
They did
Yeah.
a heart shock a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't. Well, obviously, we know why it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work because they made the wrong diagnoses. Okay.
Yes.
And so you need to get a hold of that book. It's all in your head. And for a Christmas present, and if you do this longevity thing as a business, you'll be able to deduct that as a tax deduction.
Right.
But give it to your doctor as a present. And say, I think this will help you and your other patients a little bit here. So I'm going to give this to you as a gift.
Well,
Okay.
that's my plan, is to prove him. Like he told me, my cardiologist told me that he's never had a patient that's reversed AFib, and cardiomyopathy. That's one question for you. Can I reverse cardiomyopathy with more
Okay.
selenium?
Okay. Well, let me share some information with you. I have published in 3 languages a study that Dr. Milan and I did in Heilongjiang, China, Qishan University. There's a disease called Qishan disease in kids in China.
I've heard you talk
Okay.
about it many times.
Okay. And so it's actually hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. And the reason why we went there is young athletes in America, right now in America, we're not even to halfway through the year. This year we have 500,000 young athletes in America who have died of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease, heart attacks. And it's one of those things where Evander Holyfield, heavyweight champion, he had a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart attack in the last round of his championship fight with Michael Moore, and lost the championship to him. I came up with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for Evander Holyfield, gave it to him 3 times a day for a year and a half, and he came back and beat Iron Mike Tyson to get his championship back. Now, who comes back from a near fatal heart attack and wins a heavyweight championship, right?
Okay.
And so I've done, and when I went to China, we did 1,700 autopsies on kids, 1,700 autopsies on kids that have died of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. Nobody in America and few people in the world know as much about hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease as me. And I'm just saying that as a fact because nobody's done 1,700 autopsies on babies that have died from it. Okay.
Okay.
So
I've had
here we
it since
go.
about 95, and they've been monitoring me yearly with echocardiograms to make sure it's not progressing.
Mhm.
And so far, I believe it hasn't progressed.
Okay, so
I
how much do you weigh?
I do take supplements from Shackley regularly, so I don't know if the selenium in there has been keeping it where it's at. But
Selenium is selenium. Okay, how much do you weigh?
215 right now.
Okay, and how tall are you?
5'5". I already told you that.
Yeah, and you're
So I'm on a mission to lose 50 pounds.
Okay, yes. And how old are you, sir? What's your age?
63.
63. Okay. Any high blood pressure, diabetes?
No, you asked
Okay.
me, you asked me
Okay.
all this stuff already.
Okay, good. All right. I just need to make sure I had that information. And of
Erectile
course,
dysfunction,
yeah, I have that. I have that. I
does
have that one written
does
down.
that come from the osteoporosis of the skull also?
No, it
No.
could, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's a different issue. Okay. That's what I was asking about. Did they put any stents in you, anything like that? Do you have any, like,
No, nothing. Nothing.
no plaque in your artery or heart? Very good.
No.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, oats, no sugar. I mean, all that's got to go. Can't even
I've
say
done
the
that.
word.
I've been doing that for a month now.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, really crank down on it. No cheat days per month. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I have pizza 3 nights a week, but it's cauliflower crust. It's gluten-free crust, right?
Yep.
And so the grandkids are happy because they can have pizza when they come to granddaddy's house. But guess what? It's got to be the gluten-free pizza, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how I teach them about that. And so, at any rate, then 215 pounds, and you need to lose 50 pounds, 40, 50 pounds. I want you to take 1 meal a day of our keto caramel meal. It could be the shake or the bar. So it could be one of those a day. The other 2 meals I want you to eat like an Asian: rice, sweet potatoes, beans, corn, sweet potatoes, squash, and of course the seaweed. I want you to take 2 of our bottles a month of the Fucoid Z. It's a seaweed. And I want you to take 3 of those capsules twice a day. So it'll be 2 bottles a month of the Fucoid Z. If you prefer the liquid, we have it in the liquid form. It's called Z Radical. You can take an ounce of that twice a day. That's 2 quarts a month of the liquid if you prefer the liquids. Okay. And then I also want you to get what we call our Zera test. Zera test. I want you to take 3 of those twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month of the Zera test. And it gives the Sertoli cells in your testicles what it needs to make testosterone. You also are going to need 3 eggs twice a day. I had my 3 eggs with my smoked sockeye wild salmon from Alaska this morning, and 3 eggs. And I had 3 big scoops of wild rice. You can't have fried rice. You can have wild rice, brown rice, red rice, yellow rice, white rice,
Right.
but no fried rice. And so I've been doing this for 73 years. Okay.
Yep.
I learned it when I was 9. And so you need to kind of eat that direction, and then take those Zera test 3 twice a day. And then I want you to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those 3 times a day. That'll be 3 bottles a month. And that's going to support healthy blood flow through all your arteries and veins. And also it's going to support healthy blood pressure, which you say you don't have a blood pressure complaint, which is good. But that's the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 times a day. And the Zera test and the 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs don't count. And fried eggs will cause cancer. So you need to stay away from the fried eggs. Again, if you eat hard-boiled eggs, you're just getting protein because you want.
I fry mine in butter, very at low heat.
Okay, good.
Till all the white is, I cover them and then just until the white is fully cooked, and then the yolks are still soft.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, then, get in touch with us every couple of weeks. Don't forget that keto caramel meal once a day. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day. And say after a month or so, at once a day, you may want to try it for a month, twice a day, but don't start out that way. Start out with 1 meal a day so you understand how it works and everything. And but you can lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. So in 2 to 3 months, you should be where you need to be. Okay, so keep in contact with us. Certainly contact us whenever you go to the doctor and he kind of does the exam and your blood test and everything. He comes back and says, I don't know why. Okay, but you don't have cardiomyopathy anymore. I don't know why, but you don't have this anymore. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So is there, you don't have the brain and heart pack for me on this list?
Yes, I take you need 2 healthy brain and heart packs if I didn't say it.
No.
Okay. Okay. You need 2. Yeah, you need 2 healthy brain and heart packs. And that specifically is designed for the cardiomyopathy heart disease, like for Evander Holyfield.
Okay.
Okay. And I only weigh 142, and I take 2 of those packs a month. I take a full dose thing twice a day. I probably take literally about something like 120 tablets, pills, and capsules twice a day, plus my liquids and so forth.
Okay,
And
so for the osteoporosis, is there a specific something that I
the,
need?
the MSM.
Okay,
Take
you
three-
didn't
yeah,
say that. So two
two-
MSM?
No, you need, well, you need one bottle of MSM. You need 3 twice a day, but it's a big bottle, so you'll be able to do that 3 twice a day. You could go more if you want. You could go faster. Okay.
Okay,
And that'll help rebuild the skull. It'll help rebuild all your bones in your body. It'll help rebuild the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae. Don't forget the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And then, get back to us every couple of weeks, and we'll walk you through this. Just remember that Rebecca here, our hostess, she's lost 95 pounds doing what I've told you to do.
okay.
Okay. And so
And
this,
what-
for this beautiful young lady who, just looks gorgeous at her body weight, ideal body weight, but she, for many years was 100 pounds overweight, and just in a couple of months was able to, do everything she's supposed to do.
Well, she definitely is beautiful. So you've
There we go.
you've given the right advice.
Okay, you guys want to stop.
So
Okay.
what about eating meats, Doc? I get grass fed from a local farmer.
Okay, that's fine. Again, you can roast it, bake it, grill it, but don't fry it. Last night I had 3 lamb chops, medium rare, with my rice, and I also had a salad, and then I had a third of a pint of white chocolate, raspberry ice cream, and I had a glass of red wine, and that was my dinner.
Okay.
Not bad.
Well, I hope to get to where you are at your age, but I got a long way to go. But I'm on.
Well, that's the beauty of it.
I'm on the path now.
Okay, you're on the path. That's the beauty of it. Our goal is to get as many super centenarians as we can, which means you got to be 110 years of age or older. And so let's you and I, meet and play some pool and that kind of stuff, and be super centenarians together. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. God bless you, sir. Bye bye.
All right, so Dr. Wallach, I do want to mention something here that John had mentioned as well. Before finding longevity, I had tried quote unquote quality products from many other companies. And it wasn't until I got on your protocol that I changed my health. And osteoporosis of the skull was one that affected my whole entire body.
Now, did the doctors ever diagnose you with osteoporosis of the skull?
Osteoporosis, but they don't let you know that, hey, if you have osteoporosis in this area, it's like really all over your body.
So you don't teach them that in medical school?
No.
Because
No,
if they
so
teach them that, they will go broke.
Yeah, I had ringing in my ears. It just drove me nuts. And now it's complete silence. I can hear.
Wow.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I just, even if you're on a quality or what you think is a quality supplement program, I encourage you, if you are still having concerns with your health, give Dr. Wallach's program a good 90 days. Good 90 days. And I know that you're going to definitely feel the difference without a doubt. So let's go on. And again, I want to remind you, we are on the Ask Doc Live show. If you are invited to this program by anybody specific, get back with them in regards to any questions that you might have about getting product. If you are here and nobody, specifically invited you, or you're part of our newsletter, subscriber base, and you received the invitation that way, you can always reply back to that email or go to askdoclive.com and do the contact us there, and we'll have one of our certified holistic health coaches get back with you and help you with getting the products that you need to address your health. Let's go to another hand, Dr. Wallach. So we have, and I hope I'm saying this right, Solape with her hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Turn your camera back on because you are on live, or will be on live with Dr. Wallach. But while we're waiting for her to unmute herself, Dr. Wallach, I do have a question for you. We have a gentleman who's 49 years old. He is 5'11", 215 pounds, and he's been suffering with migraines. He doesn't report any other condition, but what would you, I know what I took and what you recommended for me, but what would you recommend for him for migraines?
Okay, and he's get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar. And then at 215 pounds, I'd have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 full doses a day. Okay, then I'd also have him get our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. He needs 2 bottles a month, so I can take 3 of those twice a day. I want him to have the MSM, 1 bottle a month, so I can take 3 of those twice a day. And then I want him to have our, let's see here, I would have him take our Fucoid Z, anti-inflammatory and support the immune system. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's the Fucoid Z capsules, or he prefers a liquid. He could take the Z Radical liquid, an ounce twice a day. And then it wouldn't hurt also to throw in some of these anti-inflammatory, another anti-inflammatory, things like Z Radical. Okay, he could take the Z Radical, which I said, which is the liquid form of the Fucoid Z. Doesn't hurt to take the Killerbiotic, okay, which again is an anti-inflammatory and it does support the immune system. Okay, and so that's kind of the direction I would go with him.
All
And
right.
if you have another suggestion to add to that, go ahead and do that.
Well, so I started with the Pig Pack Plus
Mm-hmm.
and had the
Well, you came in
gluten-free.
early, the Pig Pack Plus, because in the
Well-
beginning, before I became a physician, I was afraid to name things that might be construed as human medicine. So as a veterinarian, my original thing was the Pig Pack, and then I had the pig arthritis formula, and then I had the Pig Pack Plus, and so forth. But then when I became a physician, they all kind of drifted away as I made human products.
But they're still available. and
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah, oh
that,
yeah.
Because I have people that we put them on those concentrates still, Dr.
Mm.
Wallach, and we still get great results.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
the formulas are very similar. Okay, it's just the names are different because I was in a different community, so to speak. And my first thing when I was a veterinarian and wasn't a physician yet, I was in church. I was treating people all the time because they would come to me and say, "Well, take this," and I said, "Look here, I'm only a veterinarian. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm going to treat you like a dog, but you'll get better." That was my famous saying. I'll treat you like a dog, but you'll get better.
Yep, that's right. That's right. All right, let's try Salope again. So I know that she had put her camera on. We'll go ahead and ask her to unmute. She is there ready to ask you a question, Dr. Wallach.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How can we help you?
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask a question on behalf of my mom. She's
Okay,
65
stop.
years old.
Okay, stop. Where are you from? You have an accent.
Okay, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria. Thank you. Welcome for being here. Okay, how can I help you?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So I want to ask on behalf of my mom. She has arthritis.
Oh, I missed that.
Her
Uh-oh.
mom is 65 years old and she has arthritis.
Okay, did she say how much she weighs?
Hello?
She's back. Go ahead. How much did your mom weigh?
Oh, she's 187 lbs.
Okay, and how tall is she?
She's 65.
No, how tall?
5'7".
5'7", okay. So 5'7", and she weighs 187 pounds or 181 pounds, whatever it is. I can't read my own writing here. At any rate, that's about right. She could lose maybe 20 pounds, but that's okay. But arthritis, she probably has other things. Does she have any like high blood pressure or diabetes? Is she taking medication for?
No, she has
Okay.
ulcer.
Say again?
Ulcer.
Okay, Rebecca, did you get that?
No, I didn't catch that. One more time. Or
Okay, I'll
symptoms
type
of-
it in. Ulcer.
Oh, ulcers, Dr. Wallach. She has ulcers.
Oh, stomach ulcers. Okay. Yeah.
Stomach
Well,
ulcer.
yeah. Okay. Well, it might be osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which causes what's called gastroparesis, which has terrible pain, and doctor says you have an ulcer. Okay, the odds are 65 years old with all these other things, arthritis going on. She has osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing that 10th cranial nerve. And so she might just have osteoporosis of the skull rather than an ulcer. Okay. But
Okay.
anyway, it's called gastroparesis. You can look that up, gastroparesis. That's an RO in the end. Okay. So anyway, what I want to do is get rid of all the gluten, no wheat, no barley, no rye, no oats. She needs to live like an Asian. And Nigeria, they're famous for eating maize, corn, rice, sweet potatoes, beans, squash, seaweed, that kind of stuff. And so I want her to do that now. And our seaweed is our fucoid Z. She could go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. I want her to have 2 of our Healthy Brain and Heart packs a month, so she can take a full dose of everything twice a day. And the ultimate, let's see here, the MSM, she needs 1 bottle a month, so she can take 3 of those twice a day. And let's see here, for pain on her knees or hips or shoulders or neck, wherever she has the quote arthritis, unquote, she needs to use either the CM cream with some of our trauma oil mixed in with it, and she can rub that on there. She'll get about 2 to 3 hours of relief. And we also have the, let's see here, we also have the Soothe, okay, from our Hemp FX division. There's no THC in it, it's just CBD oil. And she can go ahead and apply that with the trauma oil to her knees and hips or neck or shoulders, wherever she has the pain. And she'll have a couple hours relief there. And then because she has, quote, ulcers, I think it's probably just the squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve. Does she have any heart issues, any fast heart rate or AFib or anything like that in her heart?
No. she
Okay,
doesn't.
good. Does she have hiccups?
No.
Okay.
Grandma hiccups. No,
No.
muscle pain. She has muscle pain.
Oh, muscle
also.
pain. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's where that,
No hiccups.
see, okay. Well, that's where the CM cream and the Soothe is going to help there with the trauma oil. Now take that with all these other products we've named, and that's going to help rebuild her cartilage and ligaments and tendons, connective tissue, the bones, muscles, skin, arteries, veins, all that kind of stuff. And so she will be able to benefit from all that. Give us, contact us every couple of weeks and let us know how mom is doing, and we'll walk you through this. Okay.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, fabulous. Let's next, because we've got lots of hands going up. So let's go to Applejack. Applejack, go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Applejack. Hello.
Let's see, I'm here.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
So I did write you a question, and let's see, I have hypophosphatasia. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Well, you have to tell me what that means.
It's an alkaline phosphate deficiency. And typically it's infantile, where kids don't develop bones, that sort of thing. Except I have an adult hypophosphatasia.
Okay. When did you start developing this? What age?
Well, I think I've had it my whole life. And as it turns out, I've been really fit. But throughout my life, this has to do with bone and.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop there. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
Occasionally, but
Comes
rarely.
and goes.
Rarely.
Okay, but it comes and goes. Do you have any gray hair on your beard or your hair? Okay. Do you have any varicose veins in your legs?
No, sort of, maybe.
Okay, so spider veins, varicose veins. Do you have any hemorrhoids?
All this is minimal.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any hiccups?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have any COPD?
Yes. Well,
Oh,
doctor, that's part of the thing. I had lung cancer when I was like 21 or 22.
uh-huh.
And,
Did they remove a lung?
Yeah, 2 lobes.
Okay. All right.
So-
Good. Well, congratulations.
so
You
I,
survived. How old are you?
70,
Okay. And what do you weigh?
200.
Okay, and how tall are you?
5'11".
Okay. Any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
Yes, it sort of started, this whole thing. Sort of,
Okay. Any bowel
tell you what, I
problems?
went gluten-free about 5 years ago because I was getting
Mhm.
exercise-induced asthma, but I figured I've always combated the lung issue because of my,
Cancer, yeah.
yeah, but I'm also I've been physically fit and everything my whole life. I'm a landscaper, so I always worked hard and stayed fit. But then I went gluten-free, and it seemed to help. But that COPD thing is starting to kick in more and
Okay.
more now in the cold
Okay, well,
weather.
okay, well, that's the squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve. It's also related to the ringing in the ears, the tinnitus in the ears, and dizziness and that kind of stuff. Okay, so what you need to do is really crank down and get, I mean, everybody in your household, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and everybody, renter, roommate, spouse, everybody's got to be drop dead gluten-free, so there's no cross contamination in the laundry, the food preparation surfaces, the beds, the couches, the rugs, and so on. You cannot even go to a restaurant like Spaghetti Factory with somebody else. Well, I'm only going to eat a salad. Well, the waitress who's bringing you your salad is covered in gluten dust because she's been, delivering bread and spaghetti to everybody else in that place. So you can't go there either. Okay, you can get gluten-free pizza with a gluten-free crust. Okay, at home, but you can't eat it in Domino's because again they use the same ovens and cross contamination and so forth. So anyway, then I want you to take your body weight, 200 pounds. I want you to take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles of the MSM, and so you can take 3 with each meal. The MSM is going to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, make sure bone itself, deal with the skin issues. And then I also, let's see here, I want you to take the vitamin D3, take 3 of those 3 times a day. That'll be 3 bottles a month of the vitamin D3 so you can absorb the minerals and put them in the correct places. And let's see here. I also want you to take our Fucoid Z capsules or the Z radical liquid, one or the other. If you're going to take the liquid, it's an ounce twice a day, your body weight. If you take the capsules, it'll be 3 of those capsules twice a day. It's your weight. And they contain, 8 or 9 different seaweeds and algae and stuff like that with all these weird trace minerals in it, which is good for your bone marrow. It's going to help you with the COPD. It's going to help you with your skin issues. It's going to help you with your bowel issues and certainly the lung issues and so on. Everything you got has to do with, they come up with all these strange diagnoses, or they're cherry picking one piece here. And that piece, insurance will pay for constant treatment. You have to have regular visits and all this kind of stuff. Okay, and the insurance pays for it, so they don't feel guilty about running you through that. But if they diagnose it correctly, osteoporosis of the skull, okay, and we actually have a book. Again, it wouldn't hurt for you to get a couple of copies of this and give one copy to yourself and read various chapters of it to your family. Okay, have family meetings and you can do it with Zoom now and so forth. You don't have to, if everybody's in different states, but give one of these copies to your doctor and say, hey, you missed it badly, doc. I've got osteoporosis of the skull and half my problems are due to that, as opposed to this hypophosphatosis or whatever they call it. Okay.
Hypophosphatasia, yeah, it's
Yeah, I'll look it up. But yeah, he's cherry picking one symptom,
well,
but he's not giving you the cause, prevention, and cure.
can I discuss a little of that with you about the HPP?
Not now.
Okay.
Because we have other callers that
Okay.
have life and death things. Okay. And so you're going to be on the right track here, but I do expect to hear from you and let us know how things are going, because you're going to have a great story. And if there's lots of people with this problem, they will love you dearly for sharing your testimonies, because you're going to have a good story. Usually give me 90 days, but call me every couple of weeks. Let me know what's going on. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, sir. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay. Back to you, Rebecca.
All right, Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and move on to Denise. Denise, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Wonderful.
You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad for this opportunity. My quick
Hi,
question.
Denise.
Hi. I think I've learned already that I have osteoporosis of the skull, but my question, my question is what to take. I have heart The atrial flutters, what the doctor said, and some SVT and hair loss, and my hair is gray.
Okay.
What do you recommend?
How much you weigh?
I weigh 157.
And how old are you?
I'm 58,
And how tall are you?
5'8".
Well, that's easy to remember. Okay. Any other issues? High blood pressure, diabetes?
No, I have varicose veins. You had mentioned that.
Okay. Yep. Varicose, that goes along with the gray hair.
Right.
Okay. And do you have any, let's see here, any skin issues, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
No,
Okay. Any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea,
no,
irritable bowel syndrome, anything like that? Okay. Any joint pain?
no.
Okay, good. All right, so here we go. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bread, rye, and oats, no sugar. And then I want you to have at 157 pounds, you're right at that cusp. So let's start out with 2 of the healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose everything twice a day. And you're going to notice in a couple of weeks, your hair color is going to start as a new hair comes in. It's going to be coming in whatever your original color was.
Yeah.
The varicose veins will go away. Okay. And spider veins go away.
Okay.
And the atrial flutter, another doctor might call that afib.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And so, yeah, this is caused by osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. Do you ever get hiccups?
No.
Do you ever have a dry, non-productive cough? No
Yes.
fever, nothing like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, called COPD kind of thing. Okay.
Maybe not that bad, but just like I need to cough, but there's nothing that needs to come up. It's just kind of-
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's that same 10th cranial nerve. Okay. Okay. That's causing the AFib. Okay. So again, none of the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. Again, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get 1 bottle of the MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. It's going to help rebuild the cartilage and ligaments and tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself, help the bone marrow rebuild itself. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And I've had people who were bald as a bowling ball. I mean, they didn't have one hair on their head for 40 years. And guess what? In 6 months' time, their other hair had grown back after 40 years.
I have a quick question. So I'm on
Yes.
heart medicine. So how would I know if my atrial problem has resolved? Because
Well, you go back to the doctor and you ask for another test.
okay.
Don't worry, insurance will pay for it.
The only way they know now is with my symptoms. And so I'm just saying, I don't
Yeah.
have symptoms as long as I'm on my heart medicine. But
That's all right. No, but see, he can say, you know, I want to come back in, just see where I'm at and see if I can reduce, say, you know, look, I'd like to reduce my medication a little bit. You know, is there any possibility to do that? Well, we need to test you here. So go in and get another EKG or whatever it is they do.
Yeah.
Okay. And see if you can reduce your medication. And you're not going to cold turkey off of it before you get on our program. And even 3 months into it and you're feeling pretty good, don't cold turkey off of it. But let the doctor say, well, yeah, let's drop it maybe 20% or 10% or something. Let's see what goes on here. Okay. Let's do it, you know, by the test. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Denise. Next, let's go to Unetti. Unetti, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are
Good
on live
afternoon,
with Dr.
Wallach.
Wallach.
Hello, Unetti. How can we help you?
Yes, I'm calling from the Turks and Caicos Island. I have two questions for you, one for myself and one for my son.
Okay.
Okay, for me, I have like in my shoulder, it's pain, it's very painful and it's been going on for a month. I rub down with drugs and I'm still
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 66.
Okay. And how much you weigh?
My weight is 160 pounds.
Okay. Go ahead.
My height is 5'6".
Okay. Do you have any other issues? Any high blood pressure, diabetes, anything like that?
Yes, I do have high blood pressure.
Okay. Where are you from originally? Were you born in Turks and Caicos?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so your accent is the accent of the island?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very pretty. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. And the reason why I pick all these things out, I lived 2 years in Africa And I didn't speak English for 2 years because nobody there spoke English. So I had to speak Matabele and I spoke Zulu. I spoke
Wow.
Africa. so I had to learn how to speak those languages very
Yes, it's
quickly
very
or go
good
hungry.
language.
Okay. So and then okay, tell me about your son.
Okay, my son, his age is 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
His height is 5 feet 7 inches.
Mm-hmm.
His weight is 195 pounds.
Okay.
He's dialysis patient. He goes on the dialysis like 3 times for the week.
Okay. Is he
And,
urinating?
He's urinating now, but a little bit. And
Okay.
he has like, after he eat his food, he have like a little heartburn.
Yeah.
And then
Does he have high blood pressure?
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that usually goes along with dialysis. Okay.
Yes.
All
And
right. Does he have
I noticed,
diabetes?
no, he don't have diabetes, but I noticed on his skin, like he's got like clots, like blood clots. He'd say maybe he don't knock it, but he see these clots come out on his leg, and it's like when he touch it, it'd be a little painful. And he have a dry cough.
Okay.
I don't know if
All
it's
right.
happening from the medication because he's taking a lot of medication.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's do you first. Okay. Joint shoulder pain, 66 years old. Let's see here. Was this 160 pounds?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. And was it 5'8" or 4'8"?
5'7". I mean
5'7".
5'6", 5'6".
5'6". Okay, there. Okay, I can't read my own writing here. They ran the two figures. 5'6". Okay. All right. And so I want you to, if 160 pounds, get rid of all the bad foods. Does he live with you? Does your son live with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he and yourself and your spouse and renters and roommates and grandkids, everybody's got to be gluten-free. Okay. No wheat, no brown oats. You got to live like an Asian, live on rice and maize, live on beans, squash. Okay. And then your son, I want him to do the same thing. He's 195 pounds. He needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. He needs, let's see here. He needs 1 bottle of MSM per month, so he can take 3 of those twice a day. If I didn't say that for you, you need the MSM with 3 twice a day. He needs 3 twice a day as 1 bottle a month. He needs the vitamin D3, even though he lives on the islands, he needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And then I want him also to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day, the 2 bottles a month. They'll support healthy blood pressure and also support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And you're going to find that the results of his dialysis are going to get better. And so he may be able to, in say 30 to 60 days, get off of dialysis. You know, just keep him going and don't stop him from going, but let them test him and say, well, we don't know why, but you don't need to come in 3 days a week or 2 days a week, whatever it is for dialysis. Let's cut it to 1 day a week, or maybe even just drop it. Okay, because he'll be getting better from the dialysis standpoint. Okay.
Okay. What about him taking? Can he take his medication along with?
Oh yes, please take his medication. Yes, and then again, don't cold turkey his high blood pressure medication. But as we go along here, as his blood pressure comes down, he can begin to reduce his medication based on the numbers. Okay. Okay, but don't just say, well, okay, we're going to Wallach's thing today, so don't take your medication. No, don't do that. You want to take his medication, and maybe 30 days or 2 months, he'll be able to reduce his medication and get off it. He will be able to get off it eventually. I take people that have not urinated. They have not urinated at all. 0 urination in 10 years. They're on dialysis for 25 years because they didn't want to get a kidney transplant. We put them on the same program we put your son on here. And in 2 weeks' time, they started urinating after 10 years of not urinating. So they reduced it from 6 days a week to 3. And in 2 more weeks, they're off of dialysis after 25 years on dialysis. So this works. I do this thousands of times a day all over the world. It never fails.
I'm a person with high blood pressure too. I want pressure pills too.
Okay, so you can have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day for the blood pressure. Okay, it'll be 2 bottles a month. And again, your high blood pressure medication, don't cold turkey off of that. But as your blood pressure comes down, you can slowly reduce the blood pressure medication based on the numbers. Okay. And then call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story. And a big excuse for me to come visit you at the Turks and Caicos Islands.
But doctor, I've been to your show that you had over in Boca Raton with a friend. And I
Okay,
spoke to you, and I'm trying to see if I could bring you down this way, you and your
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 crew,
guys.
yeah. Okay, well, let's
Yeah,
do it. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so in Zulu, it's Hamagashle. Go in peace. Okay, love you, dear. Bye
Thank you so much,
bye.
Charlotte.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All
Okay.
right, fantastic. Thank you so much for those questions, and Dr. Wallach for the information that you share. And I love how you have a love for all people.
Oh, people are
Yes.
wonderful. All
It
human beings
doesn't
are
matter
children
where
of
you're
God.
at.
No,
That's
it's
right.
not a racial thing. Everybody's a child of God. And I'm so excited about, we got this book coming out probably by the end of this year. And the first, the chapter of Genesis, the Old Testament, 1:1, the first line in the chapter of Genesis says that God created the heavens and the earth. Now, did that take one day, a week? It didn't say. It covered everything before Adam in that one sentence, okay? And God created the heavens and the earth. So was it 500 years? Was it 1,000 years? Was it 5,000 years? Was it a billion years? So I've got all that figured out because I went into the archaeologists and the anthropologists and all the what should I say, all of the bodies they've collected over the years doing archaeology digs, from the beginning of time. And because the heavens is the universe, and God created the heavens and the earth, which is the universe, right? And so I went back and got all this stuff. So I know exactly when the first vertebrates came, salamanders and reptiles and things, and when the first four-legged animals came, and then came humanoids. They weren't Homo sapiens. For many, many years before Homo sapiens came, there was 5 or 6 other peoples that didn't make it. And so God tried another model, and they didn't make it. And then came along Homo sapiens, and they were okay, but he wasn't quite happy with them. And so he made Adam in his own image, so it'd be perfect. So I've got all this. I mean, I have it dated. I have all the names of all these people and the locations they were from on Earth from the beginning of time. And because that bothered me when he said, and God created and God created what?
Man.
Yeah, well, God created man, of course. Adam
God created
in his own
the
image.
earth and mankind, right, Doc?
Well, yeah, but that's not the way the word goes. And God created the heavens and the earth.
Oh, the heavens.
And God created the heavens and the earth. And their word for heavens, of course, is the universe, because they didn't have telescopes. They could see the moon and that kind of stuff, but they didn't know about Mars and all those kind of places. Okay, so at any rate, we can't blame them for not having the technology 2,000 years ago.
This is true.
So we got time for another short one?
Yes, we have time for another short one. And Monica, if you could unmute yourself, you are on with Dr. Wallach.
Monica.
How you doing, Dr. Wallach?
Hi, how can we help you?
Yeah, basically, I actually talked to you a little while ago, like maybe a couple months, but I've been taking your products and everything. But the only thing now, I'm noticing some ringing of the ears, and that kind of like was a problem, but I just thought it was like a cold on or something.
Okay, no, when you have ringing of the ears, how old are you, dear?
I'm 47. I'll be 48 this month.
Okay. It could be osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. Okay. Do you have any dizziness or balance issues?
Not at the moment. No, it just be like the ears. Like I'll be like ears.
Yeah. Do you have anything going on in your fingers? Any tingling or numbness in your fingers, your wrists, your arms?
No, only at like dialysis. That's it. Like at dialysis, when I'm in dialysis.
Oh, you're
like
on dialysis.
Yeah.
So you have a kidney issue.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you taking the Ultra Daily Classic tablets?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Take 3 of those twice a day, and then take MSM. If you're not taking MSM, that's going to help your skull. Take the 3 of those twice a day. Make sure you're off of gluten. You cannot eat any wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Where are you from originally?
I'm just from America, African American.
Okay. And so you're born here. Do you know where your peoples came from?
Not really. Not really.
From Atlanta.
No. One of those
yeah.
things.
Okay. a child of God. Okay, we love you, dear. Thank you so much. Okay, and so this should help you out dearly. Okay, and we look forward. Give us another call in another month or so. Okay, because that ringing in the ears is going to go away. But throw the MSM in 3 twice a day. It's only 1 bottle a month. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. God bless. Bye bye.
All
Okay.
right. Dr. Wallach, we're at the top of the hour and we still have hands up. So I just want to, thank you everybody for wanting to jump on here and ask questions with Dr. Wallach. We will be back again next Friday, same place, same time. And if we did not get to your questions, please go to the website, askdoclive.com, and use the contact us to request questions. We do have somebody that is there that is monitoring that account, making sure that people get their questions answered. Again, another great show, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you to you and your crew. You did a great job. And so I'm going to say goodbye in Zulu, Humbagashle, go in peace. Okay. And in Afrikaans, it's all this fundy besta, all of the best. Okay. Like I say, I spent 2 years there in Africa on the White Rhino Conservation Project, and it's in a book called Rhino Express. So all the kids in the world need to read that book. It's a great true adventure story of a little farm boy from Missouri saving the white rhino. We set up all these wild animal parks, and there was only 470 at that time. Now there's 25,000. So we're very proud of that.
And I am going to say from my crew, John T. McCollier and Ruth Ellen Sanchez and Nasima Omar, sorry about that. Adios, guten Tag, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
That's all I know. Bye for now. Again, go to askdoclive.com if you want to get any of the products that Dr. Wallach has recommended. If you were not referred to this show by somebody specific, otherwise get back with them because they've got a great way to get products for you as well. Have a great one, everybody.
Vao con Dios.
Adios.
Adios.